ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to be reacting to My Merry Messy Life. It's an expat family, an entire family that moved to Germany this year in February, and they've been pumping out a lot of very informative content about their experiences with the culture shocks from America to Germany and vice versa, from the perspective also of like a family, from a family perspective, a huge family perspective. I think they have 4 children, and this is going to be German kindergarten culture shocks. It's totally different than in the USA. Very curious because I do remember, well, myself going to kindergarten and stuff like that, but my experience was different. I was definitely on the West Coast when I went. I was in California as a kid going to kindergarten, and then I moved to Chicago right when my kindergarten stuff ended. So this will be pretty interesting. But if you guys are new, welcome. If you guys are returning viewers, welcome back. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. And let's go ahead and dive nose deep into this thing and see exactly what we're working with. And also, if you want to catch these reactions live on Twitch, the link is in the description down below to go ahead and follow me over there and give me live suggestions of things you want me to react to. But let's not waste any more time. Let's go. Los goods. Oh, this is what I'm talking about too. With the B-roll, this is what I'm talking about. By the way, Melissa... You're Melissa. Oh my God, you're Melissa. Says I'm kind of sad for me. Absolute the preschool and how they described it. I don't know. They described the U.S. preschool kinda that you have to obey and follow and listen, and if you don't, you'll get punished. I would be very upset if teachers would talk to my kids like they describe it. Maybe I'm just too German. Oh, I don't know. I mean, they were pretty pushy and stuff. Now, I'm not sure about preschool, but I definitely know kindergarten, they were definitely very pushy. So I'm not sure if they're like that in Germany. We're about to find out. Maybe they're friendlier in Germany and stuff like that. But like this right here, the B-roll, oh, quality. 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 This is nice. Yo, Dante, thank you for the 300 bits. Oh my God. Thank you so much, bro. Kindergarten in Germany is preschool in the US. Oh, what? That is insane. Hey, look at that. Dude, it's so crazy. The music choice for this is like on point too. I'm noticing like just filming things that are very impressive. The B-roll's on point. The music selection's amazing. It coincides with what's going on in the picture. I'm already dragged in. I'm just letting you guys know what I'm experiencing as I'm watching this. It's a production. It feels like I'm watching a Disney movie, like a Disney family movie. Like I'm not sure you guys remember the Disney Channel movies from back in 2000. Like early 2000s to like 2005. It feels warm and fuzzy, man. I don't know how to describe it, but this is nice. Oh, wow. Very festive. Oh, it's like Disney Halloween music. That is cool. That's cool. Oh my gosh. That's cute. That is cute. What the heck, bro? This is dope. Happy Halloween. Dude, this is so dope. Like, what? The decoration is so German too. Really? This is nice. Very nice. Oh, is that a PS5 controller? What? Okay. Now, I bet you this would be so fitting. My Merry Messy Christmas. Hey, that'd be like a really nice little vlog they could do for the holidays.
So today we want to share a few ways that kindergarten in Germany has surprised us as Americans and how our daughter has...
Do you see the camera quality? Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. It's so... Oh, it's so beautiful. Like, it looks like a Netflix movie, bro. It looks like a Netflix movie. The quality is so insane. Oh my, I thought Nauf did it. Nauf does a great job, by the way, with his like production, but this is like some next level stuff. Like, you got Nauf and then you got my boom. Like, oh my God.
Has been doing in German kindergarten. So hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. I'm Sarah.
Hello, and I'm Kevin.
And we're an American family of 6.
Nauf is amazing. Yeah.
And a cat.
Who moved from America to Germany in February of 2021 to experience a new culture, new language, have some more opportunities for travel, and yeah.
Nice.
What else? I don't know. I never know what to say in that part. Yeah, so this week and next week, we're going to be talking about our kids' experiences in school here as Americans, as foreigners in the German school system. We have got Ella, who's 5, and then all the way up to Gabriel, who is 12. So we're experiencing kindergarten.
This
all the
shot
way to
right here is dope. Oh my goodness. Look at like the mountain range and like the shrubbery and everything. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Like very scenic. This is very scenic.
Gymnasium. So we feel like we're getting a good
Oh, your Melissa says, but we don't really celebrate Halloween. We have an American family in our street and you can spot them immediately. Oh, I bet. They're all dressed up in like ghost costumes and superhero outfits and stuff like that. Hey, that's a little thing.
Experience of, Grundschule and gymnasium and all the different ages.
This is
cool.
cool.
So today we're going to start with kindergarten and our experience. So the first thing we noticed when we started talking about kindergarten in our videos is that in America we call all school, including preschool, like from the age of 3 on, it's called school.
Right.
Oh, true.
And we say, our daughter's going to school, kindergarten.
And, you grew up in the Bavarian Alps? That's cool.
That's not school.
Yeah.
Yo, if you live in Bavaria, you guys are lucky. Actually, every part of Germany has its like, very, very beautiful like attributes to it. You know what I mean? But Bavaria, oh my God. Oh, so beautiful. There's other parts of Germany that are absolutely gorgeous as well, but I'm specifically right now talking about Bavaria. Like, oh my God, dude.
But, especially with kindergarten in America, the kindergarten is part of Grundschule, part of the elementary school. So it is kind of weird in a way that you have all of the other grades are numbered, but kindergarten is,
yes.
and I mean, even in the way we talk about education,
this is helping a lot too. Their closed captioning is on point. What? That is so cool. So this is like, what?
About K to 12 education from kindergarten through 12th grade. So kindergarten is a year that comes before first grade that's part of the elementary or Grundschule. So for us, it very much is school.
Kindergarten is school, yeah.
But
so my 3-year-old loves it. He always wants to go to the ghost house. That's awesome. Yeah, I miss it. Colorado is nice too, but there's no place like home. You're in Colorado? Hey! I'm trying to go out to Colorado to, elope and stuff like that. That'd be nice. That's so cool. Colorado, I figured it would be a nice place because it's like super green. Colorado, honestly, might be one of the most German-looking places, in America, in my opinion. It had a lot of greenery, mountain ranges and stuff, and just so much to do. Elope, yep. Don't you need a witness to get married? Yeah, you do, but you can elope and hold on. How do elopements work? We'll get into elopements later, but yeah, we have it planned out. We got this shit. We got it figured out. You do need a witness. You do need a witness, but I'm pretty sure can't the minister dude be a witness as well? Colorado is not as green as Germany. Oh shit! I did not know that. I've never been to Colorado. I've just seen pictures and it looks beautiful. If you need a witness, I'll volunteer. That would be so dope. Oh my God. Oh, actually, we're looking at Vegas too, though. We're looking at Vegas. So I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Vegas seems to be the move. But Colorado, we did talk about Colorado for a bit, but Vegas is definitely what we were looking more towards as well. But yeah, only you two, no friends or family. Hell no. Why? Like, why? No, we definitely said we're keeping that to, yeah. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's easier, you know, it's easier doing it that way. And it's more intimate, I feel like, doing it between us instead of like the other thing. We talked about it. It's like, oh, well, whenever people get married and stuff like that, yeah, a lot of the marriages are either for two people, one of two people. It's either for the wife or it's for the families. It's never for both the husband and the wife, right? A lot of times husband doesn't care. It's like, okay, cool. Like if we went to a courthouse, did something there, and then went on a nice honeymoon, that would be cool too. But when you think about like marriages and stuff like that, boom. Like, you know, like ideally it's different for every single person, but it just makes more sense to make it more intimate, I guess, if that makes sense. Boom. I can hop on a plane to Vegas. Oh, true.
And like you say, even preschool, well, cool. In the word preschool, it's called school. Exactly. You know, and so, you know, especially
do like a reception, like with family and friends afterward. Yeah, that would be cool too. That makes a lot of sense. But family wants to be involved, obviously. But I feel like the actual marriage part, like that's, you know, something you can have like, and like in your mind for the rest of your life, like something very intimate. Like, oh, I remember when we did this. Da, da, da. Also, I mean, I'm sure you guys know already, but I'm not close with my family at all. Like, I don't talk to anybody from my family, not siblings, not extended family, not parents. I haven't talked to them in 15 years. So, yeah, that would be very awkward.
Nowadays, where everyone's focused more and more on academics and pushing everyone to try and go to college, it's still, we call it school, and they're pushing a lot more of academics back there. You know, you have to get into the right preschool because they're going to prepare you academically to be ready for kindergarten.
Oh my gosh, and they're so right. They're so right, bro. Good googly moogly. So that's what I hate about America's system in general. You have to literally test to get into the right preschool, right? Preschool to get into the right kindergarten, to get into the right elementary school, because the right elementary school will then unlock opportunities for you to get into the proper high school, because then the proper high school will be one of the first to be looked at when elite Ivy League colleges go scouting for new people for their student body. And I know it doesn't make any sense, but hear me out. Because they do this selection system. They're going to describe it too. But when I'll put it this way, my little brothers had to take a written test to get into their preschool, which they got into. And then they had to take another written test to get into a kindergarten, which makes zero sense to me. I'm like, bro, they're just kids. Like, let them just learn the basics and stuff, and then whatever. I guess if you want to be more selective as they get older, cool. But then they got into Walt Disney Elementary is what it was called, and very prestigious elementary school and stuff like that. And literally, if your grades are high enough and you're prestigious elementary school, you take a test. Everybody takes a test in like 7th grade, right? You're like 12 years old. You take a test, and based on how high you scored determines what high schools you're eligible to get into. You're always going to be eligible to get into your local neighborhood school, but you won't be eligible to get into the elite schools, like the selective enrollment is what we call them, high schools. So I actually always found it interesting when we got exchange students from Germany or France or Japan and stuff like that, and they saw how our system worked. I'm like, do you guys have a selective enrollment system in Germany as well, or is it by area where like if you're living within these parameters you go to this school? I always thought that was pretty interesting, but here literally that's how it is. So I tested in 7th grade, got some pretty good scores. I was able to get into a pretty nice high school myself, and then some family stuff happened, and I'm here in the military, yay. But yeah, boom. Kindergarten here is for learning basic stuff and socializing kids. That's segregation for you. Yo, facts. Oh my God. and all of that just to drown in student loans and still not live the lifestyle that you believe that you'll have with a bachelor's degree. Amen. Amen. Hey, anybody watching this live stream right now that wants a nice piece of advice that you can take to the grave with you, if there's one piece of advice I can give you, is whatever it is that you want to do with your life, please do just that, right? Make sure that what you're doing is for you and no one else. That includes school, right? At least know the basics and stuff like that. But I'm starting to realize you don't necessarily need school for a lot of things to be financially successful. A lot of the things that people are good at, they tend to not dive into because they're afraid of failing. And that's what your 20s are for. And, you know, that's what your life is for. You're designed to fail, eventually to succeed, right? People are afraid of failure, but that's what we need to help propel ourselves forward and whatnot. But it's this sick system we have here in America where, like, you have to go to school to get this bachelor's degree that'll provide you this job that will provide you this mediocre lifestyle. What's actually happening is people are going to college, they're graduating, they can't find a fucking job, and they're drowning in student debt. And it's like, now for things that require degrees, like obviously like becoming a doctor, a lawyer, for instance, or some sort of engineer, that makes a lot of sense. But a lot of other things, like the creative area, like if you can draw really well or make music or whatever, bro, you don't need school for that. You can honestly get a lot of your lessons off of fucking YouTube, dude. Or like other programs that are more suited, that are way less expensive, that you can get information from. It's crazy. Boom. Drill. Go to college. All lies. True. Germans honor the trades. We're proud to learn a trade. Here in the U.S., trades are somewhat frowned upon. Yeah, trade school is frowned upon here. If you go to trade school, you get made fun of. But then the same people making fun of you are the same people that wind up broke years later. They're like, I'm out of college now. I ain't got no money, though. And you're like, what were you doing making fun of me? I was in trade school. I hardly spent anything on my classes, and I'm making 6 figures a year as a chief janitor person. Boom. Like, it makes 0 sense, bro. Boom. Like, educate yourself. Like, don't rely on a system to do it for you because someone else told you to do it. Educate yourself. I'm not saying don't educate yourself. I'm saying the opposite. Educate yourself, but find the information that is pertinent to what you want to do with your future, because that is not what's being pushed these days. People are pushing the whole go to school because I told you to. Then you learn things you'd never retain. Bro, the whole mitochondria bullshit, like learning about plant cells, that has not helped me at all. I'm a 26-year-old adult. That has not helped me at all. Honestly, I could have lived without knowing that. If I wanted to learn about it, I would have learned about it myself. I'm like, cool. I'm interested in plants. Let me figure out what plants are made of, the basic structure of a plant, blah, 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 blah. And then the internet would have showed me all of that shit. How do you think I found out about bodybuilding and shit like that? I found out about working out from diving in onto the internet. Okay, cool. They taught us a very few basic things about the human body in school. And so I did my own research. Then I found out how that correlates with lifting. And then boom, here we are. But all to say, schools in the U.S. are very, the system is set, it's like, it's set up to fail people because it hasn't caught up with the times. And I think when it does, we'll see a huge change in, employment opportunities and whatnot. If you're going to get a degree, just make sure it will make you a lot of money and be worth it. Absolutely. 100%. German Chillicotte's mom says, plus you can further your trade education and get your master's in it. Absolutely. 100%. Which qualifies you to teach the trade to new trainees. 100%. Boom. Yeah. Oh man, it's crazy.
It's going to prepare you to get into first grade, and it's going to get you eventually to go to MIT or Harvard or whatever.
So much freaking pressure.
Yep.
Yeah, so there is a lot of that in America that we do consider both preschool and kindergarten school, where the primary purpose is teaching academics. And that's definitely not the focus of kindergarten in our experience here so far in Germany.
Yeah, and for our American followers, kindergarten in Germany is from ages 3 to 5 or 6, and it is play-based. So
Right, and not only is it play based, but those ages.
That's
3 through 6
exactly
are-
what someone in the chat just said. I think, was it German Chocolata's mom? Did you say that? Did you say it was play based? Oh, actually, JoJo said this, actually. Kindergarten here is for learning basic stuff and socializing kids. Yep. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Are all together in the same class.
yes, and in America they're separated
Yeah,
by
they're-
age,
by
like the
each
3
year.
to 4-year-olds, 4 to 5-year-olds, 5 to 6-year-olds,
Yeah.
depending on birthdays and all that.
Wow.
And that was something that was really interesting, that when Ella went to kindergarten the first time, there were all these older children that could greet her and made her feel at home, because she's used to older brothers and everything. And plus
That's cool.
the older kids get it more. She was 4 when she
Yeah.
started. And the
The
4-year-olds, the 6-year-olds understand, oh, there's a new kid. I should go and welcome them and be nice to
Yeah.
them. And, 4-year-olds don't quite get that.
And they kind of mothered her.
Yes, they did.
And took her by the hand and helped her get
That's
used
cool.
to school. And that helped so much. So we saw a benefit of having the ages together and really liked it. I wouldn't say it was a negative experience having just 3 and 4-year-olds together in the U.S., but it's been a very positive experience having mixed ages.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We never would have expected that.
Yeah, so in the U.S. in preschool, from ages, like I said, 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 years old, kids are learning all the basics of math and reading. I mean, they're learning their alphabet. They're starting to learn first words by the age of 5 and 6 years old, because by the time they enter kindergarten in the Grundschule in elementary school, it is, full on. They start learning to read right away in kindergarten. Now, it didn't used to be that way when Kevin and I were kids. This
No.
is something that keeps creeping earlier and earlier and earlier. And if it continues to creep up, they're going to be teaching babies how to read. It's
Oh,
like,
man.
when is this going to end?
Well, you are supposed to play classical music to your fetus. So that they'll learn how to-
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. I heard my mom told me when I was a little bit older, I was like 10, that she used to play classical music and all that other craziness when I was in her belly and stuff like that. But crazy, right? Like I was like, what the hell? Like, I didn't turn out to be the brightest person on the planet. I can barely retain information. Not sure how true the music thing is, but
be musically inclined
Right.
with good music before they're born.
Right, no Jay-Z or Beyonce or anything, just...
yeah, you gotta play Chief Keef, man. You gotta put Chief Keef on like the belly and stuff. They'll be like into trap music for the rest of their life, man.
Classical.
classical. And so it's like, we've seen over the years, and many American parents will complain about this, and the teachers will too, and say, this is too much too soon. Let's get back to kids being able to be kids.
True.
And they're seeing how there's too much academic pressure.
Yes. Oh my God. There's a lot of academic pressure, but then at the same time, we're not teaching people the right things in these schools. Like, the school system in America is so... Oh, it's so irritating. It's so irritating. Oh, my eyes and my brain, and everything hurts. Literally, oh man. I guess I understand the more that I see videos of expats in different countries doing culture shocks and stuff like that, and like kind of comparing Germany with the U.S., I'm starting to really see how much of a capitalistic society the U.S. is. I didn't really ever get to fully see it for what it was until pretty much recently, within the last year, seeing all of these different videos, because it seems like every crack and turn, the U.S. is trying to milk every segment of everyone's life to quote unquote better the country. And it's literally chipping the foundation away piece by piece with the moves that it's been making. And I wasn't really able to see any of that until I got the perspective of people who moved outside of the U.S. and got to experience what life was like outside of the U.S. for the first time. Super crazy. Boom. So what would I want for my kid? Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. That's a good-ass question. Oh, my goodness. This channel also has a video about playgrounds in Germany and the U.S., and it's so cute how the adults are amazed by the playground. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, my God. That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. Maybe, like, I hate to say private school, but even with private school, you have to look at the curriculum and see like, are they teaching the essentials? Obviously, as a kid, like maybe finding a program that focuses more on the social, on socializing first, and then prioritizing socializing, and then the basics, right? The bare basics that every child should know, and then of course that should in turn prepare them for like first grade, second grade, things of that nature, I feel like.
At an early age. However,
daycare costs $1,200 a month, my God! Oh, shit! On average here in the U.S., it's insane. Of course, it varies, but it's the average cost. God damn. Well, listen, man. Pretty sure you all know I pay child support. That's about to go through the roof in the next year or two, because that's definitely what's about to happen. I'm about to get taken to court and all that good shit. I'm like, guess who needs more money? That's gonna be crazy, bro. God damn, I did not know it was that expensive. Holy shit!
the flip side of that is you're also seeing how 3 and 4 year olds really can learn a lot, and they are capable of learning a lot of new information and retaining it and doing very well with it. So
I don't know, where's the balance?
Where's the balance?
I mean, but yeah, when they're kids, when they're that young, they should just have fun and play.
Yes.
And not have to worry about.
I agree.
Learning academics.
Like just teach the kids in a way where it's fun to learn, right? It's not like, and there's no pressure if you get things wrong. I feel like we go way too hard on children here, man. Like, oh man, it's crazy.
Really interesting here in Germany. I mean, we'll talk more about this when we talk about Grundschule and Gymnasium, but it really gets accelerated. They're allowed to be kids for a long time, and even first and second grade.
Oh, true. That's a good question. What do they do for work now after moving to Germany? I'm wondering if it did they ever talk about that? Melissa, do you know if they ever mentioned what they do for work now in Germany? Or no. By the way, this is going to be a long ass video. I hope you guys know that. I mean, I talk a lot, and we're all starting to chat, so it's going to be. He's a professor. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. That's cool.
Grade are reasonably relaxed in Grundschule, and then it picks up real fast.
Like 4th grade, bam.
Yeah.
You are now in school.
Damn.
But it is interesting. So I don't know where is the right balance, but it's different here.
Yeah, so back in the U.S., and I've mentioned this in a few other videos, when we had our first 2 sons, I got really into Montessori learning, and on my blog, I had a lot of Montessori posts. I made a lot of my own Montessori learning games and things like that. And what I've noticed is the approach here in Germany seems to really follow the Montessori Waldorf approach, which is letting kids be independent, letting them make their own decisions, just having the toys out for them and they can go and play with them. And they don't realize they're learning while they play because they're all learning games, but they just feel like they're playing all day.
Yeah.
Yet they are
That's
learning.
cool. That's what I'm saying. Like making it fun for the child to learn. You know what I mean? Like, like the alphabet, right? Like just have like A through Z, and then like the little letters and stuff, and then they can put the letter of the alphabet into the blank slots. Like, oh, cool, I did some cool stuff. Like, look, I made it fit. Like, cool. What letter is that? That's A. Oh, see, that's cool. Like, even math. You can learn math with candy or something like that. Like, it's just some cool stuff, man.
Oh, heck. They've got the Wald kindergarten, the forest kindergartens even, which are public schools that are part of the public school system, and you can go to them. And, we didn't get Ella into one of those. We didn't really know how or how that would work, but it's just really fascinating.
This is cool.
You just send the kids.
I don't know what camera they're using, man, but this camera is on point. Like, it's like a Netflix. I'm going to call it the Netflix camera, because this is like some Netflix quality stuff right here, man. This is a Netflix movie. It's a movie.
They spend all the time
outside. All right,
outside.
Jojo, it was good having you in the stream. Thank you so much for everything. It really means a lot. Hopefully, I'll see you in the future streams in the near future. Sleep well. Have a good night. Boom. Melissa says, "Oh, I don't know. They just said they moved because they want to give the kids an experience of other countries and cultures." That makes a lot of sense. They both lived in France and Switzerland too. That's cool. That sounds really cool.
The woods and
the entire day.
it's
so
really
cool.
really about, about that self-reliance and teaching them to make their own decisions and, not being in this sort of sanitized world where everything is packaged for them.
For those of you who aren't in Germany, you can send your kids to a Montessori or Wahl kindergarten, either free or very relatively inexpensively. In the U.S., Montessori schools are known for being only for the rich. They're very expensive, $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 a year. You can get scholarships and things like that, but the average person is not going to Montessori schools in the U.S. We could never afford it. And I would have loved to send our kids there, but they're also known for having inferior academics.
Oh, your English is on point. Don't worry about your English, Melissa. It's very good. Your English is definitely better than my German. Oh my gosh, but your English is perfect. I understand everything.
By the time they get to 4th and 5th grade and things like that. So it is great in the early ages.
And that brings another point too about how kindergarten here in Germany is not part of the Grundschule or the elementary school, that it's not, that there is a price tag associated with going to kindergarten, and yet there's all these discounts, and I mean, we still don't understand how everything worked, but in the end she's going for free, right?
Yes.
So so it's really interesting,
Yeah, in the US you have to pay for preschool.
Yeah, so preschool like that, you would definitely pay, and it the private ones like what she's talking about are very, very expensive, but even just the normal ones can be quite pricey too. Where we lived in Georgia, there was a state-run preschool program that did. So there were certain preschools that were free to go to, but they were
for ages 4 or 5.
Was it 4 or 5?
Yeah.
They were often hard to get in. They would be full, and so there might not be a place for you. There's a lottery to get in, and they weren't always known as the best schools either, oftentimes, so it's kind of like you get what you pay for in a way in America. And here it's not that same way at all. It seems like all of the kindergartens are very high quality and are all supported by the government.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool. It's very refreshing too. I feel like the experience with your okay, I'll put it this way. So I mentioned this before. I forgot what video it was, but it was another video I was reacting to, something very similar. And basically, I was telling you guys that I had a friend of mine, way older than me. Like he's like probably in his 50s or 60s. But basically, his kids. He was telling me that he lived in Germany for a while. He raised his kids out there. It was like a really amazing experience. The system, he said, out there, the schooling system was absolutely incredible, night and day to the US. And he felt, it was a lot safer for his kids. They had a worldly perspective on things. And so they didn't get to experience the same things that typical people would get to experience in America that would live here and stuff like that, which is great, So I think that, oh man, hearing it from these guys too, oh my God, so much hope, man. Y'all might get me to move out there, man. I'm dead ass. I told you I was considering moving out there. I want to visit. For sure, I'm going to visit very, very soon, and I'll let you guys know specifically when everything is set in stone. I don't want to keep giving you guys false hope and stuff like that, because I am going to visit for sure. I just need to give you guys a specific date when the tickets are already purchased and I have the green light to go, but yeah.
And, folks don't have to pay a lot, or it's usually free, at least in our case. And I imagine for many other folks it is too.
Yeah, so Ella goes for free as long as she is there from 8:30 to 3:30. If I want to send her longer, then I have to pay more. But 8:30 to 3:30.
Wow.
Now for a working family, if the mom is working too, obviously you'd be sending them longer. But it wouldn't be much more money. I think it was going to be 85 euros a month if I sent her till 5:30. And that is so cheap compared to what it is in America.
Absolutely.
So cheap. And also there's the Krippas, the Kitas for, which is daycare. And I was going to recommend that you watch the Black Forest Family's video on that. She explains the whole concept.
Hey, there we go. I like this, man. I love this community. Very tightly knit. Very, very tightly knit. Oh my goodness, goodness gracious! This is nice. Does Germany do it better? German Kita versus American daycare. Let's go. This is dope. This is dope. I like the plug.
Concept of how it's different from the U.S. to Germany very well, and I enjoyed her video. And we're not going to have to experience any Kripas or Kitas here, so
Yeah, we came with our kids past that stage.
Yeah. So I'll link to that in the description box below. So we want to spend a little bit of time talking about the culture of self-reliance, because that's a big deal here in Germany in raising children. And we have done 3 videos on that. So I will link to our little series on German self-reliance and German childhood down below. You can see the culture of self-reliance, starting in these kindergartens. So here's one small example. The children come with a snack to have every day. It's called a Brotzeit here in southern Bayern. I imagine it is not called that all over Germany.
I don't think so.
Actually, I know
that's
it isn't.
cool. I like how they already know about all that, man. Like, that's cool as hell. Like, they're like, okay, Bayerisch, this is what you guys call it, but other parts of Germany, probably not called that at all. That's cool as fuck. Like, what the hell? They're on point. They are on point.
So it's a Brotzeit, a bread time, right?
Bread time.
So they have their little Brotzeit they come with, and it's all like these standard boxes. And it took us a while to find where
Get the right ones.
Get these boxes. So we got a little Brotzeit box, and the children come in. They have free play, and then for like 15 minutes, starting at usually around 9 a.m., 9 in the morning, they do a circle time. And that's when they talk about the weather, what the day of the week is. The child gets to, this is like something that blew our minds, because this is not...
Yo, the food that they give to kids in the U.S., man, it's like they treat us like pests or something. They give us like rat poison and shit. Like, I'm joking, but the food is not that good for kids in public schools. Now, I have seen some schools in the U.S. that serve really good food. It's not common though. You're more likely to get good food at better schools, like selective enrollment schools, private schools, things of that nature. But public schools, free schools, nah, bro. Like, one of the, I guess, least funded parts of American society is its education system, especially prior to I just literally elementary school, high school, like kindergarten. It's like they're like, oh, if the government's looking for places to cut funds, one of the first places is always the education system, and they pump all that into where their defense budget. The military, what I'm working for, and from this perspective, I shouldn't be complaining. I should be yay. But if you look at how it's affecting people in America, I mean, I can't get too excited for that. It's sad. Brotzeit.
Done at all in the U.S. is that one kid is picked every day.
Wait a minute. Kids get out of school at 1 p.m. in Germany? Oh, Lord, that's nice. Hold the hell up. Most German schools don't have cafeterias. Kids get out of school at 1 p.m. Boss? Can you say that again? Because my ear twingled a little bit when you said that. 1 p.m.? It varies per state. Good googly moogly. That sounds like a dream come true. Now, of course, the getting used to not having a lunch period is like whatever. But that's the thing. The lunch period is for the teachers. It's not for the students. It's not for the students at all. In fact, I remember when I was in elementary school, we had 2 lunch periods. We had a lunch period that was an hour long, and we had another 15-minute. So we had recess. And we had our second recess. We had our first. So recess was like lunch break. So we had lunchtime was like an hour, and then, I think was it 15 minutes we had before the end of the day we could have our second recess. But that was honestly for the teachers. Now that I'm realizing that it's a second break. So I remember if I had a class, I think my last class of the day was like social studies or something. I think it was we had 15 minutes to just go outside and play right before social studies. And then social studies would be our last class, and then we would go home after that. So interesting stuff. Oh my God. I don't remember when my kids were released in elementary, maybe like 3-ish. Yeah, that's normal. 3 o'clock is normal. Yeah, in kindergarten, preschool, they have only bio vegetables or bread from local bakeries, sausage from local butchers. Before COVID, they did a walk to the stores and bought everything together. Oh my God, that sounds so healthy. We have it's like Pop-Tarts and Pringles and Twinkies and oh my God. Oh.
To be the one who lights the candle for the
Wow, my first try.
Yes, they use a match.
That's
and they, with the teacher's help, learn starting at the age of 3 how to light a candle.
Oh.
And then they get to pick what song
That's
is going to be sung for
cool.
certain time, and they get to pick a question
Just like that.
the teacher asks.
Like
I mean,
this?
this is at our kindergarten.
No, look at
I'm
the
sure
candle.
and
now look at the
different from different kindergartens. I'm not saying this is done all over Germany, but at our kindergarten, this is how it is.
You know what's crazy? My parents would have never let me do that. They're like, light a candle at what age? Oh no. Not until you're like at least 10 years old or something like that, man. Oh God, bro. I'm glad I'm not. Oh gosh. I could rant about my parents forever, but I'm glad I'm not living there anymore. Oh my God. Oh. Till 10th grade, I had school from 8 to 1 p.m. I always ate lunch at home. That's cool as hell. I've heard schools get sponsored by soft drink producers and so on. Bro, I don't know what the hell you heard that from, bro. Hell no. Schools do not get sponsored by soda companies, dog. No, not at all. Now, there have been campaigns where companies like that do stop by schools and they're like, oh, hey, like we have this thing going on where they might have like a fundraiser type thing, I guess. But nah. I know you didn't know that, but like, no, they don't do that. Trust me, if that was happening, we would have a much higher quality of life and quality of education and stuff like that in the schools, because it just boils down to funds to do shit, right? And schools don't really have funds to do anything because the government keeps pulling money from schooling. They're like, we don't need to educate kids. Education? What's that? We need more guns. It's crazy, man. It's sad.
So they ask a question like, what is your Lieblingsfarbe? Your
Their drinks are definitely sold in schools, though. Coca-Cola doesn't sponsor schools, but it will be the first to put its drinks on shelves to be purchased by students at the school, if that makes sense. So, no, they're not sponsored, but they definitely do be promoting their brands in the school for kids to be putting their money into. So, if anything, they're sucking the money out of kids' pockets and stuff like that. It's sad.
Color, or what is your Lieblingstiere? And they have to answer, what is your favorite animal? And so each kid has to go around and say in a full sentence, and they will correct them if they don't say it in a full sentence. And they have to answer the question. And then they usually sing some songs, and usually someone in the classroom is able to play basic guitar chords, and it's usually the teacher plays guitar. And then after that, it's free playtime, and they will maybe go outside. I have heard that they absolutely have to have outdoor time every single day unless it's
That's good for you. That's like literally good for your health. Like that's good. Like going outside and stuff like that. Like that has to be a mandatory thing. I'm not sure if it's mandatory in the U.S., but we got to go outside quite a bit. I do remember when it would storm and stuff like that. Obviously, we had to stay inside and I don't know, play in the classroom. And I remember the teachers were definitely annoyed. Come to think of it, if I look back on those moments and kind of zoom in on like some of my teachers' facial expressions, they were definitely annoyed.
And I've definitely seen that to be true. And then, so they have free playtime and also free snack time, which means, and what I mean by that is that at any time they can choose when to have their snack. So they get to choose which toys they want to play with in the room, and they can choose when they feel hungry enough to go and get their broadside box out of their rucksack and bring it in out of their book bag and
you got an outdoor classroom. That sounds like California.
At a little snack table, and they get to decide when they want to have their snacks. So it's really cool because they end up usually doing it by friends. You know, when their friend goes to get their snack, then you see like Ella go get her snack too.
Oh,
you know,
that's cool.
It's little things like that where the kids are allowed to be independent. They're allowed,
enabling them to make their own decisions.
Yes, from the age of 3.
Instead of, okay, you have to go.
Yes.
It's time to go. All all right, we're all going to walk out. Everybody has to be in this straight line. You have to be walking on the second square.
See,
of the
that's
tile.
crazy. Like teaching kids independence at such an early age, I feel like that is something that needs to be more emphasized here in America. We don't do that enough. I think we coddle people way too much out here. I'm like, oh, if we didn't tell you to do it, don't do shit. Okay, just sit there and stare at the wall until we tell you to do something. And I'm like, can't they just make decisions themselves? Like, what the heck? Like, for instance, if the kid's next class that they have to go to is like a reading class, why not teach them how to get to their reading class from their math class? Makes sense to me, right? But no, everyone needs to line up in a line and wait until the last person gets in line. We're all going to walk over to the reading class together, no matter what, even if we've been doing this for a whole year. Like, no, like, guys, America, we got to get it together. We got to get it together.
And everything is all hyper managed by the teacher. Yeah, instead of giving the kids the opportunity to explore life and figure out and make decisions on their own. It's very different.
Yes, and Americans are more known for their helicopter parenting, and you can see how that goes all the way back to early childhood and how it really is ingrained in our culture, and how German self-reliance is ingrained here. And we've always liked the parenting style of giving our kids decision-making skills. I hate being a helicopter parent. That's it's annoying. I mean, you have to watch over them. And
yo, my parents are helicopter parents to the max. Actually, take that back. My mom was a helicopter parent. Like, literally every little move I made was being monitored, and I felt so I just felt angry, I guess, a lot of the time as a kid. I do remember that, because like everything I did was wrong, and I'm like, good God, bro, like, just let me make my mistakes. My dad, when my mom wasn't looking, he let me make my mistakes. If I was running and there was a wall in front of me and I kept running and I hit my head, he's like, I bet you'll never do that again. And I'm like, you're right, I won't. Thank you for letting me make my own like decision to hit my head up against the wall. Appreciate you. And then I learned way quicker that way, you know. But when my mom would just, I don't know, take things out of my hand or tell me to stop doing some shit, it just, I don't know, man. I felt like it just sheltered me from the consequences of what would have happened if I did do those things. And it didn't stop me from doing them. I just did them in private, I guess, right? Like, I'm like, why couldn't I put my hand on the stove? Damn, that's why I couldn't put my hand on the stove. That makes sense. But my dad, he would have speed ran that shit. He's like, hey, go do it. Do your craziness. Watch why you shouldn't do that craziness. And I'm like, all right, that makes sense.
I don't want to be helicoptering my kids. So we fit in very well with that culture here. So another example of this self-reliance is in art. And this is something that always bothered me when we lived in the U.S., is that when you make art projects with the children in any grade level, from preschool all the way on up, it's like a color by number. Like, you have to do exactly what the art teacher says. You have to follow exact directions, and you're just basically copying what the art teacher says. I have taken drawing classes before. I have done graphic design. I've been a dancer for many years. I have been a creative person my whole life. And
you're just supposed to follow.
That makes sense. That's why her videos are on point. She's creative as well. She has graphic design, right? Graphic design, and she's a creative personality. So I'm like, there has got to be a reason why her videos are hitting like this. Like, I'm very intrigued. Like, this is beautiful. Like, oh my God.
The instructions. An engineer, you're supposed to follow the instructions and make it exactly this way.
Yes, and as an artist, I was just
That's
always
not very
like,
creative.
I have to color in the lines and color what colors you tell me to do.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I hated it as a kid, and I think it's the wrong way to teach art. And I think any art teacher, and I'm sure even in the U.S., art teachers would probably disagree with this way of teaching. But I mean, to me, art is about expressing yourself.
Yep.
It's
Self-exploration.
Self-exploration. What colors would I like to color this? And maybe
Melissa says, my son has a magnet with his picture on it, and if he wants to change a classroom, he has to take his magnet by himself and tell his teacher, I want to go to classroom 2. Take the magnet, go to the other room, and just put the magnet on the wall. So every room has a wall that teachers see what kid is in which room. That's actually really smart. That's really smart. We should do some. Yo, I'm telling you, these are things that America could be adopted, but unfortunately, we're stuck in the past over here.
Go outside of the lines and create something over here and draw something over here. And, so I've seen in the German kindergartens here how they have a table with colored pencils and paper and scissors and glue. And the kids can just make whatever they want. And it looks like something a 3-year-old made. It's not something that's like beautiful that you can put on Pinterest and everybody's going to click on. No, it's not going to go viral on Instagram. Like, it's not beautiful, but it doesn't matter. The whole point is your kid got to sit down and explore their creativity and do whatever they wanted. And an adult wasn't standing over them, telling them what to do.
Amen. Amen. We need more people like this. That's what I'm talking about. We need to change the system, man. The system is so broken and so it's just, I don't know. What's the word for it? Very limiting. I think the system that we have in place now teaches us to color in a box and restricts us from exploring our full potential. I feel like we can be very progressive as a human society if we incorporate things like this. Honestly, I strongly believe that.
Then make their own decisions.
Tab A must go into slot B.
Now, when you're doing math and science, that's the time to follow the rules, okay? We want engineers who know what they're doing.
But not in our class.
But not in our class. But they do also have crafts that they do.
Oh, video idea. Would it be fun if you watch some Idol auditions, like best and worst clips? Oh, yeah, that would be pretty funny. Best and worst, like American Idol or just every Idol, like German Idol, American Idol, da-da-da. That'd be pretty funny. Isn't it ironic that Germans raise our children this way and yet we still turn out to be so precise? Yeah, and then we get raised to be super strict. We get raised very strict, I guess, to an extent, and then we turn out crazy as hell. And then free willy and stuff like that. So I guess maybe, I don't know. It is a little ironic. Maybe it is ironic. I think, maybe getting raised in such a way where there is a lot of pressure allows us to appreciate the lack of pressure, so we do our own thing as we get older. I don't know. It's a very interesting perspective. Interesting.
Maybe once every few weeks, it's not very often, that decorate the classroom, and they'll teach the kids how to cut out a certain shape in order to make a sunflower. Right now, that's the decoration in the kindergarten is sunflowers, and of course leaves and things like that, and pumpkins. And so they teach them how to cut out a pumpkin and what it looks like, which I think is still an important skill because now we're learning how to cut out an oval shaped object.
I mean, how to use a knife in general, like that's pretty awesome as well. Maybe German Idol if they have it, or some talent show since your subscribers are mostly German. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That sounds like a great idea. I'm here for it.
It's good for their dexterity. That's still important to learn. But art also needs to include do whatever you want.
True.
And explore your own creativity. In my humble opinion.
I agree.
So something we mentioned in our video from last week is that we needed a lot more equipment for Ella to go to kindergarten here that we didn't need in the U.S. In the U.S., her playground and many of the playgrounds are pretty sanitary. They're not exciting. We have a whole video on playgrounds as well, German playgrounds. We went all out on that because we love the German playgrounds.
Hey, those playgrounds are dope. What? Hey, I would be going crazy too if I saw some shit like that. Bro, what the heck? We don't have stuff like that here in America. What the? Whoa!
Description. It wasn't that exciting of a playground in the U.S. It depends on the school. Some are going to have better playgrounds than others. Ours was just so-so. And they never take them outside if the playground is wet, if it's too cold, or if it's too hot.
What?
So here, the teachers were like, she needs her Regenjacke, Regenhosen. She needs
her sun hat.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, the hat was a big deal. Got to have a hat.
That's so
like
cool,
a baseball cap
dude.
In the summer.
Oh my God. You guys had lit ass childhoods, man. At least from a school perspective. What? That's what you guys' playgrounds look like? Oh my God, bro. wow. I'm
These
very
ear
impressed.
warmers in the spring and fall, and then a real winter hat for wintertime, and gloves, and she needs rain boots and snow boots, and
What?
They will be outside, pretty much no matter what the weather is, which is awesome.
That's awesome,
we love
man.
it. Yeah, we think it's great. And even Ella had to get used to that. She was kind of used to staying indoors more and not being a real outdoorsy kid.
What?
She's a girly girl like me, so she wasn't too excited about getting dirty. And
I am starting to get her hooked on hiking.
Yes, you are.
That's cool.
Kevin is getting her hooked on hiking, and she's hiking more and more. So if you want more information about like the gear that kids need, I would watch our other video. But we definitely have needed a lot more outdoor gear for kindergarten than ever before. All right, guys. So that's all we have for today.
That's smart. And to conclude this video, there is a saying that is called, there is no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. Amen. That was a solid video. My Merry Happy Life. Is that what it's called? My Merry Happy Life. My Merry Messy Life. Very, very amazing video. I'm subscribed to their channel. Oh my God. Let me turn all notifications personalized. I have all of them on. I want to know exactly what they're doing. Like this is quality. Love the video. Learned a lot, especially from you guys too in the stream. Beautiful stuff. For everyone that has made it to the end of this and has added their 2 cents in, I appreciate you guys. I'll be looking at the comments and responding to you guys. Really love everything. Really means a lot. And thank you for recommending this video. The link will be in the description down below. Make sure you guys subscribe to them right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and copy this link. Bang. I'm going to put this in the chat. You guys go over to their video and subscribe to them from this link. And definitely help them out, man. Oh my gosh. Produced by Foozy Beats. What's up, my guy? Anyways, that's pretty much it. Take care. Love you guys. Bish beta. Ishli boy. Ciao. Well, what a pleasure it is to see all of your beautiful faces at the end of this lovely video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure you know, as I've mentioned in the past, we do have a Discord that's linked in the description down below, and we would love to have you a part of the world's greatest community ever, Bray Gang. Yes, if you've made it to this point in the video, you're officially a part of the community. So go ahead, join the Discord server. Link is in the description down below. And we also have other social media as well, like Instagram, Twitter. We're live. We go live on Twitch quite often as well. So it would behoove you to, go ahead and subscribe to the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/JamesBrayGang. Join the cause and be a part of the greatest, literally the greatest community ever. Okay, it's simple. Just go ahead and do those little things. We're trying to grow on all these little platforms and everything, and it really means a lot. Now, I know you guys stumbled up across the channel and you're like, what does this guy post? Like, what kind of content does he post? Reactions, vlogs, pretty much whatever comes to my mind. All right, it's random content. I don't know what I'm gonna be posting 10 years from now, but I do know that you can stick along for the journey, and it really means a lot. Now, for every single person that subscribes and follows all of the accounts that I have made, and all the links will be in the description down below, that's an automatic entry for any future giveaways I decide to have. I'll remind you when the giveaways take place, but you'll be surprised what I will be giving away because you guys have supported me so much up to this point, and it's only right that I do the same thing back. Thank you guys so much for being amazing, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.